One of the most common questions that many tend to ask is, how do you go from an engineer to be a salesperson? The short answer here is learn to listen. Okay, I think that one is very important. The more that you listen, okay, the more that you learn new things. And when someone share with you their problem, their challenges, aside from listening to what they shared, also think beyond. Why are they sharing this with you? Are they looking for solutions, or are they actually just looking for someone to listen to their problems, but not giving them a solutions? So in other words, there are also people who say, hey, you know what, I face this problem. Let me tell you, this is 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, they list it down. But eventually, after they list it down, they talk to you, they may actually not be looking for solutions from you. They may just want to have someone to talk to. Okay, why? Ever since I started running my own business in year 2005, I started in 2000 as an engineer, and then I eventually joined a few companies, become the country director of a small little startup that was later sold. I came out and started with my own. So during the 5 years when I was an engineer, engineers tend to want to solve problems. Okay, that's nothing wrong. That's in our DNA. The moment you see a problem, you think of the possible solutions and how you can actually try to solve them. Maybe through coding, maybe through welding, maybe through a certain design, turn the things into a better. Nothing wrong with that. But if it's for sales, that's a very different story. Okay, so what do I mean is that when you're doing sales, it is not about just having a problem to be solved immediately. Sometimes it actually goes beyond that. Okay, sometimes it actually goes beyond that. So let's say, for example, a potential clientele talk to you. So now you're going in as an engineer, or you're going in as a salesman, or you're going in to solve the problem. So if you're going in as an engineer, the typical engineers will probably listen, look at the environment, look at what you have, look at all the pros and the cons, and if these particular solutions can come in. So let's say in the context of today, can the AI tools solve this problem? Okay, can someone that I outsource, okay, manage this? Maybe customer service complaints went up. Can I use a bots, BOTS, to solve the problem? Okay, so probably an engineer will think of it this way. Okay, or maybe hey, you know what? I want to prevent hackers from coming in. We are doing high numbers of transactions. Maybe I put something in between, put a better firewall, encryptions, AES 256, stuff like that. Okay, but that's engineer. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But what happens if you are a salesperson? Okay, this means that you have to probably identify what the owner is actually trying to solve. Is the owner trying to solve a particular problem, or is it more than that? So a salesperson, okay, must learn to listen to everything. There is a whole part of the story. Okay, not a small part, but the whole entire part of the story. So that when someone tells you, shares with you their challenges, especially from SME owners, okay, they will share with you all the problems that they have. Sometimes when they share the problems that they have, it may not actually be the actual problem that they need you to solve. It may actually be a problem that has been hidden. They themselves are not quite sure, but something is actually irritating them. So if you want to be a good salesperson, my take here is listen. Listen to what they have to share as a whole story. Ask them questions. Will such a thing like this, a product like that, or a solution like that, solve your entire problem? If it's not, what kind of problems are we identifying that can have the kind of solutions to be met? Or what kind of solutions can we have to solve this particular problem? I think one of the things that I learned over the years is that having the DNA of an engineer, you want to solve the problem fast. So you tend to look at things in a very objective way. But as I said, in sales, it is not about that alone. In sales, it is not just about solving that one problem, because that one problem may be a small part of a bigger one. So always listen to the whole entire stories, let them finish it, ask them good questions so that you get a good answer, get a good response. And also, you have to be a bit more observant when you are a salesperson. Look at the way they talk, look at the way they gesture, look at the way, are they perspiring? Are they agitated? What kind of environment? Talk to them. Because once you talk to them, you understand them, then this is where you zoom down and tell them, perhaps these are the few things that you are looking at. Perhaps these are the few solutions that may be able to solve this particular problem. But if this problem leads to a bigger one to be solved, then my take here is, as a salesperson, look at it as a whole. Okay, look at it in whole totality. Don't just try to solve one by one. Because if you solve one by one, okay, before you even solve the problem, a bigger one may actually come out. So use these suggestions to try to transit from the engineer to a salesperson. So how do you do it? Okay, you can do it by three things. Number one, okay, think of yourself as a salesperson. Don't think of yourself as an engineer. So ask yourself, if you're an engineer, how will you solve it? Okay, and then, on the other hand, switching the hat of a salesman, how can you solve the problem without being an engineer? Okay, it may sound easy, but actually it's not. Because sometimes we have to suppress what we are trying to do. Okay, so you can try. This is number one. Number two, imagine you are actually the client. And when you're talking to a salesperson or when you're talking to an engineer, how do you expect a salesperson or an engineer to treat you? If the salesperson of an engineer, the salesperson or the engineers, whatever, talk to you, how will you respond? You will most likely respond differently. So when you respond differently, then when you flip it around, if you are the salesperson, how do you expect the potential client to react to you? If you're an engineer, how do you think the engineer will react? So this is the second one. Number three, what if you're not an engineer? Okay, you're not wearing an engineer hat, you're not wearing a salesman hat, you're just a fixer. You're just there to fix a problem. It simply means that sometimes certain solutions should not be coming from a single person. It may not be solvable by a single product. It may be a consolidation of multiple products, multiple solutions combined together to solve a problem. So this is where consultancy comes in. If being a consultant help you, you can play both the role of an engineer, play the role of a salesman. You look at the whole thing as a whole. When you look at it as a whole, then you think of it this way. How can I actually deconstruct the whole entire thing and then try to solve this whole entire problem? So that means you come in as a fixer. You don't come in as an engineer, so that you don't get yourself in the way of think of it. This is how a stereotype, engineer would think. How a stereotype salesperson would think. So if that is the case, then move in as putting yourself as, I'm a fixer. I'm here to solve your problem. It may be within my capability or it may not be. If it's within my capability, great, I'll solve it. If it's not within my capability, maybe I can get help, external help. So that means what I need to do is I just need to gather enough people to come to you to solve this problem. So try these three things. 1, 2, 3 may sound very similar, but they're actually not if you dive in deeper. So have fun and then let me know